Big Boss Jock radio show, where the listener is encouraged to rise up, revolt, be part of the revolution, bring about a solution, liberate the Confederate States of America, Alamo placed as the capital. Analyst assessment, episode 4. Continuing with the assessment video clip uploaded by CBSN on April 4th, 2019. Clip entitled, Trump Threatens to Put Tariffs on Cars Coming to U.S. from Mexico. Airtime, 8 minutes, 2 seconds. Enter in 33 seconds through 36. Statement of Dawn. It's gotta be a great deal. If it's not a great deal, we're not doing it, but it's going very well. Top officials are here, and we're very well along on the deal. It's a very complex deal. It's a very big deal. One of the biggest deals ever made. Maybe the biggest deal ever made. It will be a great deal for our farmers. Technology, intellectual property theft, everything is covered. There's not a thing that's not covered. That's Don's statement. There's a problem when we review the statement that's quite obvious. Top officials. Who are those top officials? Are those top Chinese officials? Top U.S. as with Chinese officials? And what was termed our farmers? Yes, we as U.S. citizens should be proud of our farmers. Then we would understand. Those are the U.S. citizen farmers. Our farmers. When U.S. citizen nor the United States of America is mentioned, who are our farmers? Are they the same as our officials? Yeah. People can see the intention. Computer-placed dialogue. The officials should have been described. The farmers should have been U.S. farmers. The others in the group would be Chinese farmers. There's a dispute between two different members of the group. It's a global community and there's two countries being described. The leader of one of the countries goes unidentified. Avoids stating the name United States of America nearly every time he makes an appearance. That's President Don, who's supposed to be what they term someone who practices patriotism. Oh, they care about their nation. They disgrace the practice of being patriotic due to the catchphrase placed by the USDIA. Anyone who practices patriotism are all of one race. In turn, they're a racist. Oh, they must feel shame if they happen to care about their nation due to the placement of a color to a word named nationalist. Named, described, worded, or spelled. Nationalist. Go back a couple decades ago. There was a dispute in the 90s, a zone known as Yugoslavia. What was formed? The movement. What was it? Oh, Nazis are nationalists, nationalists are Nazis. Repeated again and again incessantly. Well, now a couple decades on, tagged on is the word of a color. Well, definitely isn't black nationalist, and the white, which is another word for Caucasian, a very ignorant description. The use of the names of colors to describe race is ignorant at a heightened level. Promoted through the dialogue. The people conditioned to fill themselves with racism. Well, the group that's 60% dominant in the United States of America needs to look down in shame if they mention patriotism or look straight ahead and be seen as a racist. Someone who hates because they fail to practice patriotism. How can they be a person who practices patriotism and at the same while not be a nationalist? Exactly. And they've been stripped of their identity. Not only the 60%. The entire nation. The United States of America about to be history. The formation of two separate entities. A false history. Slavery. Reparations are not owed. The slavery, as described, is a falsehood placed forth by the USDIA. That millions upon millions of African-descended people of the Yankee African community are descendants of slaves is a misconception. The history intentionally eschewed to bring out racism deeply instilled into the population, not just one group. All the groups have filled themselves with what accompanies racism? Hate. I avoid saying the word. Yankee, they use that word to describe when they don't want to do something. It's reflective of who they are. Full of the word that they repeat often. Hate. Time to drop the use of colors to describe race. It was intentionally placed forth, put to the dialogue by the entity USDIA. They are attempting to not be held accountable for decades of mismanagement. Understand out there, listeners, trillions upon trillions of dollars have been invested into an underground where soon they'll be found. The ones who should be held accountable. The operators at the USDIA. The ones who place the dialogue to the programs. 5-minute lapse. Lot can be achieved in 5 minutes. Been going on since 1993. Continuing on with the assessment. U.S. President Don, use of we is unacceptable. Only intent, and realize, listener, is computer generated. It's the image of the man, Don, though what's going on is generated in a computer. The dialogue placed, the only intent is leave the viewer catchphrase programmed or catch theme programmed. We could be both or either. We, the word we, is used, viewers to group, either are with we or choose to be excluded, are not part of us, in turn, are not part of the group. Shell game played, forged, sometimes more, placed to the dialogue, shells, heard through the speakers, each shell is described, identical have written, inscribed atop each is the word we. Under each shell places a unique significance. In turn, each shell is different. Same while undiscovered, until later uncovered. Occurs in the subconscious. Shell game continues. Needed is to juggle. Information gets jumbled. What is easily understood, the viewer left grasping, attempting to understand. Catchphrases with key words are planted. Assemble the details. Impression which is formed in the subconscious of the viewer. Perception is not spontaneous. Listener is left programmed. Let's go, everyone. Stay ready to roll. Remain with the show. We, at times, is Dawn with imaginary friend. We, at times, is Dawn with unknown group. Identified as a member. Group left unnamed. Viewer's subconscious associates group with nation due to the term our country. We have a great deal, stated Dawn. We is part of our. Continues on. The shell game. Masqueraders with the charade. Times, we is Dawn with a specified someone. Continuance without specification. Next time is used we. Subconscious of the viewer is confused. Inappropriately associates. Description, the significance, is misplaced. Times might be even properly placed. They're all the same. Continues on the game. The subconscious condition. Attempts solve mathematical problems. Sum together the details. When the use of computer-generated dialogue is placed, viewers don't assemble, piece together information. Details are planted. Through trickery, deception plays forth. Examples such as the use of we with the shell game. We with different significances established from the start of almost every broadcast. News to the opinionated views. Upcoming is an example, just written at the moment. Example of national news, well as how is the local news in the Yankee Empire, about to go away, known as the former country of the United States of America, as soon as the USDIA pulls the plug and ushers a multitude underground, and, well, there will be those factioning groups that war above ground. One thing for sure to happen is gun confiscation. At the first hours of the termed crisis situations, Yankee Sam, USDIA, there in their game book, are awaiting to confiscate approximately 90% of all the guns owned by private ownership. Oh, they're security firms, and that's how it'll be in the place of America. Everyone knows that's from pole to pole in the Western Hemisphere. America. They'll have their private security firm, Homeland Security, LLC. Is it the company or the corporation? Either way. Well, it depends. First sign of problems, they'll move over, shift, and be the company. Who's responsible? Was it the director or the president? The commissioner? Or the lead board member on the council? Former U.S. citizen. Stripped of their identity. Time to rise up. Kick off the revolution. Be part of the solution. Liberate the Confederate States of America. Alamo placed as the capital. Here's an example of what goes on in the USA on the evening news, as well as the morning, any of the news shows. And for that matter, many of the shows. How commercials included. How the people are grouped. Placed in the group termed we, ours. Instructed in the form of you. In turn, is how they perceive their views. By perceiving you, being part of we. Here we go. Good evening. We bring you the latest update. This evening, we will start off by letting you see the damage firsthand, close up. There at the scene is Angie. Angie Kyle. Good evening. Here, firsthand, the damage, well, it would be Kyle Angie. Good evening. Here, firsthand, the damage is bad, very bad. Here, the lights have been out. As you can see behind me, you are able to see the cables downed are from the wind. Here, the people were affected. You can see from the debris. Numerous trees block the streets. Here are reports of shortages. You can see many stores have closed. That would be a similar type of dialogue placed to a hurricane situation, possibly tornado, after had passed by or maybe about to arrive. It's the hurricane. Ring-a-ling-ling. Need it is to pick up, raise the intellect level, way more quality. Don't accept rubbish. For those who are interested, listeners out there, rephrase what was just placed. Do so without the use of here, nor us, or we, or you. Take those words out and try to rephrase what was just stated. The evening news. Broadcast. Tornado just passed. Use the location. Tulsa, Oklahoma. And try to begin the evening news without offending an entire group. Forcing those who don't identify with the one describing the word we to have a different perception. Not included in the group, though forced to be with we in order to understand the dialogue. In turn, are program the information instead of objectively observing, receiving the details, coming up with a logical conclusion. Yankee is such as a parrot that learns some catchphrases, repeats them again and again. It's on a temporary basis. Parrots are beautiful animals, quite intelligent. Shouldn't do that. Yankee is who Yankee is. They want a cracker? Well, how would they have their cookie? And are they staying with the theme? I am. I'm right here. Our one and only God. He's inside. He's inside of each and every one of us. I do thank our one and only God for helping me do this rhyme. For a moment, signing off.